I'm the president of Open Source Matters. Some of this others may have already said, and so I apologize if I'm repeating what others have said. Open Source Matters is a nonprofit organization that provides legal, financial, and organizational support for the Joomla project. And that's my email address, and I would welcome whether we get a chance to talk over these next 2 days, or if we don't, I would be happy to receive an email, and we can stay in contact that way with you. I want to thank. I think some of this has probably been said before, but I want to personally thank Lionel Canton, who invited me to come here. And the other members of the Joomla Day Guatemala team, and Oscar, who's been up here and talked, and Tito, and Pau where's Pau? Is she here? There she is, back in the back. These 4 people did a lot of work to make this event possible, and I really appreciate it, and I hope that you'll all take the opportunity to let them know that you appreciate it too. None of this would have happened without them. Also want to thank our sponsors for this event, including especially the Galileo Universidad, who provided this location for us. I want to thank all of the speakers who are here from different countries to teach us and help us to learn more about Joomla. If you're a speaker, would you stand up? Nobody's listening. If you're a speaker for today or tomorrow at this Joomla Day, would you stand up? Stand up. Stand up. Come on. All right, so look around there. There's Lionel, David, Tito, Gretel, Guillermo. Thank you all for spending time and preparing so that you can help make all of us smarter and learn more about Joomla these next 2 days. Okay, you can sit down now, thanks. And you can go back to checking Twitter and everything, Skype and everything else you're doing instead of listening to me. Yeah, right. Good answer. And most of all, I want to thank all of you all for coming, for taking time out today and tomorrow to come join this Joomla Day event, and I hope that you'll get a lot out of it, and it'll be a good, enjoyable experience for you in every way. I don't know if it was mentioned before, and I won't go into a lot of. I won't take a lot of time, but I'm from Colorado in the United States. I've been to Mexico a number of times when I was younger. I'm on family vacations. I went to Colombia last year for Joomla Day, Colombia. This is my first time to Central America and Guatemala. And I'm really happy to be here. When I left Colorado 2 days ago, there was snow on the ground, or actually yesterday, there was snow on the ground, and it feels good to have the nice weather that you all have here. Today I want to talk about 2 things. The first thing is, why are you here? And then the second thing is our formula for innovation. So for the first point, why are you here? I won't ask people to stand up anymore, but I will ask for a show of hands. How many are students? All right, we've got about half are students. Here at the unit, I know we've got some Costa Rica students here, but how many are students here at this Galileo University? All right, good. How many use Joomla for work, either as, in your job? All right, a lot, good. How many, this is your first Joomla event to come to? A lot. That's good too. Really glad you all are here. So how many were here at Joomla Day Guatemala last year? All right, good. Thanks for coming back. I think that, let me add a couple of more questions. How many think of themselves as a beginner with Joomla? Or here it is, okay. And how many would say that you're more experienced and more knowledgeable about Joomla? All right. Last few questions. How many would consider yourself a programmer or a developer? Okay, good. Now, how many would consider yourself a designer? All right, good. And how many would consider yourself a website builder, or does that term transfer over, a website builder or site integrator, a freelancer? Okay, a number of those. So good. I think we've got a broad range of interests and skill levels, and that'll make for a good, interesting 2 days here. I think that I expect, with all the different backgrounds and different levels of experience with Joomla, that everybody's here has their own different reasons for being here. And that's good too. And I hope and encourage everyone to really try to take the most advantage of the time today and tomorrow to try to achieve whatever your goals are, whatever your purpose is, whatever your reason is for being here. And we'll talk some more about that, come back to that later. Even though we're all here for different reasons, I think it's clear that the one thing that sort of brings us together and connects us is Joomla. And so let me talk a little bit about what our formula for innovation means to me. And I think that there's a general idea about what innovation means, and there are some ideas that how innovation comes true within the context of the Joomla project and the Joomla community. And it's really that idea that I want to talk about some more in terms of what I mean by our formula for innovation. I think that our formula for innovation within Joomla consists of three things. The first is a great set of tools. And just as if you're an artist, you want to have really good paints, really good brushes to be able to produce your best paintings. If you're a photographer, you want to have a good camera and a good lens, and to be able to produce good photographs. If you're a craftsman, you want to have good tools to be able to build good buildings or structures or furniture. If you're building websites, then you want to have good tools for that too. And Joomla is, without a doubt, a great set of tools for building websites. We've recently passed over 40 million downloads of the Joomla software around the world. And Joomla is arguably the first or the second most popular content management system in the world. I would say that Joomla is the second most popular, behind WordPress. There's some people who say that, well, WordPress isn't really a content management system, it's a blogging tool. I think it started out as a blogging tool, but now it's grown to become a content management system. But there's a key difference between WordPress and Joomla, or a number of key differences, but one of those key differences is that WordPress has a company that drives it, has a founder who drives it, who sets the strategy, who keeps the project moving in the direction that he decides is best. Joomla is different in that we don't have we have founders, but we don't have founders who are the sole leaders of the project. Joomla is a community-oriented project, and it's open to anyone who wants to contribute, who wants to get involved, who wants to help. And sometimes that makes some things harder and more difficult to make decisions, because everyone has different opinions, has different ideas, but it also, I think, makes the results that we do end up with, to me, more valuable and more rewarding, because it was a collaboration between community members from all over the world, instead of simply just following the orders of whoever the person in charge is. So that's a key difference between Joomla and WordPress. Joomla, another thing that's pretty special about Joomla, and that helps to define that it's a great set of tools, is that it supports 68 different languages. And it's in use all over the world. Roughly 3% of all websites on the internet are running on Joomla. We've got over 6,000 extensions that are available for Joomla 2.5 or higher. And these are extensions. Some of you all may have written extensions that are available for Joomla, or some of you all may want to learn how to write extensions. And this will be a great opportunity in these next 2 days to learn more about how to do that. And these extensions build on more features and functions, and add value to a Joomla website. Beginning with Joomla 3.0, we have a responsive front end and back end of Joomla, and I won't talk too much about that. Guillermo, I think, is going to talk more about that later. But one thing that Joomla is today, I believe, unique with, is that it's the one content management system that has a responsive both on the front end and the back end. The back end meaning what administrators, webmasters, content contributors work on. And responsive means that if you're looking at a website on a smartphone or on a laptop or on a big screen display for your desktop, that website will resize itself to effectively display no matter what the device is. That's a recently new or relatively new concept in web design, and Joomla has adopted the Bootstrap framework and has become a leader in that effort. As of yesterday, Joomla has tags. The Joomla 3.1 was released yesterday, and people have been asking for tags in Joomla for a long time, and now we have it. And finally, we have a robust and growing PHP framework. David Hurley will talk more about that tomorrow. It's really, think of the PHP framework as the foundation that the Joomla content management system is built on. And if you're a developer or a programmer, or you want to learn to be one, then it'll help you if you understand more about how this PHP framework works. And not only does our PHP framework serve as the foundation for the Joomla content management system, but it also allows programmers and developers to create web-based applications that are totally separate from a content management system. So you could create a mobile app or a cloud-based app using the Joomla framework, and it doesn't have to just be a website. So essentially, any application that you or a client or a customer might want or need could theoretically be developed on the Joomla framework. We might need to expand it, and we might need your help to add some features to it, but that's what it's there for. So the first piece of our formula for innovation is a great set of tools, and there's, in my mind, no question that Joomla has a great set of tools when it comes to building websites. The second part of our formula for innovation in Joomla is a sharing community. And I think that it's really important with the idea of innovation that innovation happens best when people can come together and exchange ideas, they can ask questions, they can get answers, they can have discussions, they can work together, they can collaborate. And then the power of those ideas grows and increases, and Joomla is really strong in that regard. We have a sharing community without question. For one thing, our software is open source, and by open source, that means many things to many people. The idea that I want to stress is that with Joomla software is freely available for anyone to use, and you can have direct access to the source code. And if you want to learn how to become a programmer, the best way to learn is to just look at that source code, and so it's being shared in that respect. That you can look at that source code, you can change it, you can distribute it to others, and you can do anything that you want with it. We have user forums on the Joomla.org website. The user forums are available in many different languages, including Spanish. And it's a place where users can come and ask questions. If they're new to Joomla, people are there every day to answer your questions and to help you if you're having problems with Joomla or you need to get some more help. We have email lists that are targeted to different types of users. And it's a place where developers and programmers can come together and again, ask questions, learn from each other, plan for the future and what lies ahead for Joomla. We're also committed to improving the multi-language support on the Joomla.org website. And so that's one of our 7 overall project goals for 2013 is to make the content on the Joomla.org website available to more people around the world in more languages, including Spanish. We're a sharing community in the sense that we value diversity too. Diversity comes in many forms. There's language diversity, there's gender diversity, and I'm really happy to see so many women here today. Technology, internet, computing, programming are fields that are historically harder for women to be a part of, not because of skills, but just because of gender barriers. And in the Joomla project, we want to support more women involved with the community and with our project as much as we can. So happy to see all the women that are here today. We want you to know that we want to do whatever we can to have you feel really included and important and valued part of our community. And finally, we have a sharing community in terms of Joomla days and Joomla cafes and Joomla user groups. We have last year we had 29 Joomla days like this that happened all over the world. We expect to have more this year. We had 2 international conferences last year, and we'll have the same again this year. There will be a J and Beyond conference next month in the Netherlands, and if any of you all are able to join us for that, we'd love to have you. And then there'll be a Joomla World Conference in November as well. We have over 300 local Joomla user groups around the world who meet on a weekly or monthly basis to talk about Joomla. And so people coming together to share as a community to do that. And so really the concept, the idea of community is really central to the Joomla project. And again, all of those opportunities to get together with others, to learn from each other, to ask questions from each other, to talk about things that you like, to talk about things that you don't like. Those are important values within the Joomla project, and they're also an important part of our formula for innovation. The third component to our formula for innovation is your dreams and your big ideas. And by that I mean, I think that we all have, I hope we all have big dreams and big ideas for ourselves, for our lives, for what we want. They may or may not directly involve Joomla, but I suspect that in one way or another that Joomla can help support, can help move forward whatever your hopes and dreams and big ideas are. And if you don't have in your mind what a dream or a big idea is, and I don't care if it's about Joomla or just what your goals are for your life, I hope that you'll take some time to consider that and develop those hopes and dreams and big ideas. I think that's important for all of us just as individuals. And I hope that you might look and see and discover if there's a way that Joomla can help support whatever your hopes and dreams and big ideas are. Maybe if you're a student, maybe you want to get involved with technology after you graduate from university, and Joomla can help you do that. If you're starting a business, then Joomla can help support that business, whether you just want a website for your business or you want to build websites for other customers. Or maybe you want to start a business or grow your business that is going to offer templates or extensions or website hosting or other products and services that would tie in with Joomla. And those businesses may not be your ultimate hopes and dreams. Your hopes and dreams may be to retire and move to Colorado so that you can go snow skiing and hiking and fishing and some other things. But Joomla may help you get there to achieve those dreams, whatever they are. And so, again, I want to go back to that idea of why are you here, and don't just think or expand your idea of why you're here, not just to maybe learn a few things about Joomla, but also to recognize that this day and tomorrow at this Joomla Day is an opportunity for you to move forward with whatever those hopes and dreams are that you have, and look for ways that Joomla might help be a part of that. So again, our formula for innovation consists of 3 parts. The first part is a great set of tools. Joomla has that. The second part is a sharing community. Joomla definitely has that. The third piece is your hopes, your dreams, your big ideas. That's the part that Joomla can't directly support because that has to come from each of us as individuals. But once you can lock in on what your dreams and big ideas are, then I'm pretty sure that one way or another you can find a way that Joomla can help support that. And that's really, to me, is one of the more exciting things about being involved with the Joomla project, and why I'm proud to be a member of the project's leadership. So I mentioned the 2 things that I wanted to talk about at the start was why are you here and what's our formula for innovation. I want to come back to the first one, why are you here? But first, I want to say a little bit more about why I'm here. Last year when I was leaving, I went to Joomla Day Colombia last year in Cali. Had a great time. My first time to Latin America, not counting Mexico. I really wanted to hear from the members of the Latin American community. There have been some issues, some questions, some concerns had come up that the Joomla project and the community could do a better job of listening to the needs and the wants and the things that the Latin American community wanted from Joomla. And so I was happy to travel to Cali and hear from those members of the community about that. And that was a really a powerful experience for me. I mentioned briefly that we have 7 overall project goals for Joomla. 2 of those project goals directly came out of things that I talked to and heard from members of the Joomla community in Colombia last year, and those are they asked to add more content on the Joomla.org website in Spanish so that people could understand better, could learn more from the documentation, and understand better how to become involved in the project. And that's one of our overall project goals for this year is to improve multi-language support, including in Spanish. And one area that we've already moved forward with that is on the Joomla Community Magazine that Guillermo is involved with. And from the very first day, it offered support in multiple languages, but now we have essentially a separate instance of the Joomla Community Magazine that's in the Spanish language. Guillermo's involved with that, and it's a really neat and exciting and empowering resource, and I'd encourage you to talk to Guillermo more about that if you would like to contribute in that way. But at any rate, back to my story about Colombia. So as I was leaving Colombia, the immigration officer asked me what the purpose for my visit was, and I told him I came to Colombia to speak at a software conference. And so he signed my papers and sent me on my way, and I went back on my plane to go back home. As I walked away from that immigration officer's desk, I realized that I'd lied to him. That my purpose for my visit wasn't to speak at a software conference. My purpose was to listen. My purpose was to hear what the hopes and dreams and questions and concerns and desires were from the members of the community about using Joomla or about what their experience with Joomla has been. So that's why I'm here. And again, I want to reinforce that I really hope that I'll get a chance to meet and talk to as many of you all as possible. If there's a language barrier, please don't avoid me because you don't feel comfortable about speaking English. We'll find a translator, and that's what we did in Colombia. It really helped a lot. The second reason why I'm here is to be reminded about what I think is most important about the Joomla project, and that really is the people. There are many who will say, you know, Joomla is all about the code. And I won't disagree with those people because if there was no code, there would be no Joomla, right? So I get that. I'll argue about many things with many people, but one thing that I won't argue about is, you know, what's most important in Joomla. And I think that everyone has the right to have their own different opinions about it. But for me, what's more important than the code are the people. And because it's the people who write the code. It's the people who support the code. It's the people who test the code. It's the people who share the code. It's the people who write magazine articles about the code. It's the people who come together and meet and learn and share and connect with each other. If it wasn't for the people, then nothing happens. And so my favorite thing about coming to Joomla Day events like this is the opportunity to be reminded about, to me, what's most important, and that's the people. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. And I hope that you know, part of your reason for why you're here, you'll see it as more than just to learn a few things about extensions or templates or about how you could grow your business or other things with Joomla. I hope that you will see this as an opportunity for you to learn, to share, to connect in many different levels. And finally, to grow. You know, I talked earlier about opportunities to help your dreams come true, to whatever your big ideas are. I think we're all, as individuals, we're all trying to grow as human beings. And one of the things that I've found really rewarding and enjoyable about Joomla is the interaction with all the different kinds of people that help me to grow as a person, just to learn how to be a better person myself. And I think that if you will see these next 2 days as an opportunity to really focus on these things, then I think you'll come away with a stronger and deeper experience about what Joomla can mean for you. Joomla comes from an African word that means all together as a whole. And so that there again is that idea of community that is really central to what, to me, is most important, most valuable most fundamental about what makes the Joomla project special. There's another African saying that I want to share with them, and it's that African proverb goes that if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. There's that word again, together. The same as in the meaning of Joomla, and it really means community. With Joomla, we can take this great set of tools. We can take advantage of the opportunities of the sharing community. We can use those two pieces to help us to achieve what our hopes and dreams, what our big ideas are. And I hope that over these next 2 days at this Joomla Day, whether it's your first time here or your second time, that you will use these next 2 days, you'll use the people here who have come to share, who've come to teach, who've come to talk about what they know about Joomla, or just the people sitting next to you who may be struggling with the same things that you are, who may have the same hopes and dreams, then you can support each other with those. That you'll recognize these 2 days as a special opportunity to really take advantage of a lot of knowledge and a lot of desire to share, a lot of desire to connect with others. And if you'll do that, then I think that you'll discover what the true strength of Joomla is. That again, it's great code, 40 million downloads, powers 3% of the internet. But really, that's just to me, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just scratching the surface. That's just a part of the value of Joomla. The value of Joomla is the community. It's each of us that are here and others of us all around the world who are coming together to use Joomla, to contribute to Joomla, to share Joomla. And I want to finally just encourage you to consider that there are many opportunities that you can contribute to the Joomla project, that you could give your time as a volunteer in any way that you can think of. That's one of the most exciting things about the Joomla project to me as well, is that because we're all volunteers, nobody can tell us what we can or can't do. And if you have an idea of something that you want to improve Joomla with, or that you want to work on with Joomla, then talk to myself, talk to Guillermo, talk to Lionel, talk to David, talk to more experienced members of the Joomla community, talk to me, and there again is my email address. And we can find ways for you to help get involved and contribute and become more involved in the Joomla project. And if you do, then I can pretty much guarantee that whatever time you'll give, whatever work you'll put into it, you'll more than receive that back in terms of the things that you'll learn, the things that you'll grow as a person, as a website developer, as a designer, as a builder, and as an individual and as a human being. So thank you again for your interest. Thank you for bearing with me with my English and my pobre español at the start. Let's have a great 2 days here, today and tomorrow, as we learn, share, connect, and grow. And I hope that by the end of the day tomorrow, that some of us will leave this place with a sense of what we can do with Joomla to help our hopes and dreams come true. And even if it's not tomorrow, maybe it's a week from tomorrow, maybe it's a month from tomorrow, maybe it's a year from tomorrow. But keep hanging on to those things and keep looking for ways that Joomla can help support that. So, muchas gracias, and let's have a great 2 days. Thank you very much.